Okay, hello viewers. This is going to be a maintenance video on a 2011 Suzuki SX4 hatchback with a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. And I'm going to be covering a whole bunch of stuff here. Basically just preventive maintenance. All the fluids are going to be changed. So hopefully you'll enjoy the series here. Just starting with an oil change here. I already took out the drain bolt, which is right underneath here, right there. Okay, so I'm just letting the oil drain drip there. It's right there. Okay, so for reference, transmission. Oh, this is the 6-speed manual transmission. Exhaust pipe and the, or I guess the header pipe, and then the oil pan right there, and then the drain bowl just sits right there. It is a 14 millimeter. I'm going to try to keep my camera as straight as possible here. You're going to need a 14 millimeter, preferably 6-point socket, and here is the drain bolt. The oil pan drain bolt, 14 millimeter head, nice long threads, and a new washer. I'll get you the Suzuki numbers as well for the washer there. Now, something that's really important here, that is the oil filter right there. I have a wrench on here. I don't know if you can see that. I've got a 3/8 drive flex head ratchet with a fairly long handle, probably 12 inches at least. And then a cap-style filter wrench on the filter. If you don't have a cap-style filter wrench, forget it, you ain't taking it off. This thing is so close to the exhaust manifold. So I'm just going to be loosening that right now. Let's just see if it's, yeah, there we go. It's loosening up. There's a drain pan underneath there. Okay, so basically you just remove this filter from up top here. So I'm just going to unscrew this, and I don't have my cameraman here, and then let it drain out. I'll show you the filter and that cap-style filter wrench there. Okay, thanks, see you in the next clip. Okay, so I just wanted to show installation of the oil filter. So the oil filter, there's exhaust manifold. I know I have the cover off, and I'll get to that in a few clips here. So it just slides down there. I'm about to drop this thing. So it just goes down here where the AC hose is, and between the fan shroud and the, I guess where my index finger is holding it, that's the heat shield cover there. And you just fiddle around with it there, and then you can get it to, let me see if I can see. I don't have my cameraman here, so this might not, I don't think this is going to work here. Yeah, so anyways, it's just underneath where that bolt head is there, or where that, yeah, or I guess the bolt screw, the end of the screw there is by the exhaust manifold there where the heat shield is secured there. And you just put it on there. So I'll come back in the next clip here. Okay, so here's the filter installed right there where my finger is pointing, right there, you can see some writing there. Okay, and I would highly recommend torquing that as per the factory service manual. So here's a 3/8 drive torque wrench with a cap-style filter wrench. I just go in between there and the fan, put it on here like so. Let's see if I can actually do this with one hand here. I mean, you kind of get the idea here. There we go. I may have to move this around a bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then torque it to 120 inch-pounds there. So there's the torque wrench there. And, okay, I'm going to have to get my other hand on it. So anyway, so there you go. Torque it to 120 inch-pounds. That's 10 foot-pounds. And that's it for the oil filter. And then obviously fill it with oil. I'm not going to show that. I think the manual says 4.7 liters. So, okay, I'll come back in the next shot. Okay, so just a little trick. So, you know, here's the cap-style filter wrench. I just put it onto the oil filter there. I mean, I recommend putting this on hand until it clicks in. There we go. And so that's where it's there. So when you're torquing it with your torque wrench, and obviously it's gonna, if it sticks on there, then what I recommend, let me just remove this, is just remove your torque wrench, put in a ratchet or whatnot, or maybe a wrench here, but I just put a ratchet in there, and then just back it up, reverse it, and then just a little tap, so it just loosens up, and then you can remove the cap style filter wrench from the oil filter. Yeah, I think it's absolutely critical to torque this. It's in such a tight location. I would torque it. There's no way you're going to get this on hand tight and not leak, in my opinion. So what I do is I just torque it to 10 foot-pounds. That's what's in the owner's manual. So that's 120 inch-pounds, and never had a problem removing it. But you do need this filter wrench. I'll give all part numbers that I'm using here for the replacement OE Suzuki parts at the end of the video. Okay, thanks. Okay, so next on the list is the transfer case fluid. Just as reference, this is the front of the car. Okay, and then we go underneath. Let's just slide underneath here. I took the cover off here, so let's keep going. This is the, for reference, this is the, oh, let me grab my flashlight, is getting stuck here, cord. Just as reference there, that's the oil pan right there. Okay, so that's the oil pan. This is the exhaust, the crossbar. And then we get to the, okay, where is it? It is, oh, right over here. Okay, so right by the exhaust, that is the drain right there for the transfer. Right there, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if it's in focus or not. It doesn't look like it's in focus, but okay, so right there, that's the drain, and then the fill is on the side here, right over, let me see if I can get my finger in there, on my ratchet just dropped, right there. Okay, I don't think that's in focus there, so totally out of focus, so I don't know how to focus that. Okay, yeah, this isn't working here. I'm trying to use I'm trying to use this phone and it's not working. Okay, so anyways, that's the drain right there. Let me see if I can get that in focus. So that's the drain right there. And then the fill is just up top there, where my finger is there. Okay, sorry for the really crappy shot here. Okay, so I just wanted to show the drain plug and the fill plug there. The one with the magnet is the drain, so it goes on the bottom, and then the one without the magnet is the fill plug there. Make sure these threads are really clean. I cleaned it up with that little pick there, and both obviously that they're clean. And I'm going to apply a little bit of Permatex thread sealant with PTFE. It's number 14H by Permatex. This is just liquid thread sealant. It's not a thread locker. It just says lubricates and seals thread fittings, outperforms tapes and pipe dopes. So that's what I'm just going to put lightly on there, and then torque it to spec there. I'm only going to torque it to, but I had it torqued to 145 inch-pounds, and it was pretty hard to take off. So I'm going to torque it to 120 inch-pounds. I think the manual says, I think these are 16 foot-pounds in the owner's manual, but I'm not going to go that high myself. Okay, see you in the next shot. Okay, so I'm going to start the fill procedure here. So according to the owner's manual, it takes 0.6 liters for, I believe it's 0.6 liters for the transfer and 0.8 for the rear diff. So I'm using, this is the oil that I'm using, AMSOIL Severe Gear 75W190 full synthetic. I'll get your part numbers again at the end. And I'm just going to use this, this is from AMSOIL, a hand pump here. And I'm just going to use this to fill it there. Okay, I don't think I need my flash here. So, okay, next shot will be moving to the rear diff. Thanks. Okay, moving to the rear differential here. So this is obviously the back of the car, the muffler. There is the drain right there, and then the fill plug and check plug is right there. So unfortunately I can't do this one-handed, but just stick your tool in there. You can use a, I'll show you the tool that I used there. You can just use a 3/8 extension there. I mean, I'll show you what I use there. So yeah, obviously loosen the fill plug first, just in case it's seized, and then there's the drain right there. And then I'll show the fill process in the next step. Okay, so now going to the manual transmission. This is a 6-speed manual transmission, 2011 Suzuki SX4. So again, front bumper. We come to the what is that? The driver's side, left side. I'm going to show you something here. So here's the transmission. I took the splash shield off. The fill check plug is right there, and it is an 8mm hex. So it goes in like that, an 8mm hex right there, and that's the fill check plug. And the drain, you come down here, and it is right there, and that's a 14mm. Same as the oil drain bolt. I believe that's going to be the same one. So anyways, I'll show you when I take those off. So yeah, that's 14mm right there. Okay, so here is the manual transmission drain plug. It's exactly the same as the oil drain plug with a new gasket. And again, I'll get part numbers for that. And this is the fill check plug right there. That takes a different gasket there. So sorry for the glare there. I don't think I need my my light on here. So anyways, yeah. So I think the book says it takes 2.5 liters of fluid, and I'm going to be using. Okay, I got to kill that stupid light here. AMSOIL Signature Series 100% synthetic motor oil. Oh, sorry. No, motor oil. Yeah, sure. AMSOIL Synthetic Manual Transmission Transaxle Gear Lube API GL4 7590. Important, this is GL4. The transfer and rear diff are GL5. This is GL4. So, yeah. So that's it for the manual transmission. Okay, I just wanted to make a note here on when you're installing the transfer case fill plug and drain plugs and the rear differential drain and fill plugs. I'm not going to go underneath the vehicle again because it's I don't have my cameraman here, and this is going to be too shaky here, so I don't want to make anyone nauseous here. But to take out the transfer case plug that I showed previously there, you go above the, so if this is your exhaust pipe right there, you're going to go above the exhaust pipe. You don't have access anywhere else. You have to go above there. So what I used is a 1/2 inch drive. I'm going to show this tool. This is actually a 3/8 square plug. It's made by Mac Tools, and it's VP12, Victor Papa 12 is the part number. I highly recommend this part because this is it's not like these 3/8 drives, the square end will work, but this has much more torque since it's 1/2-inch drive, and this fits in there exactly. There's no slop at all. And of course, make sure that the holes are totally clean of all debris, because the last thing you want to do is strip it out. So I mean, this was torqued to 145 inch-pounds previously, and I had a heck of a time loosening it up. So I used this along with a 6-inch 1/2-inch drive extension. You could probably use a 5-inch, but I used a 6-inch. Maybe you can use a 5-inch, so 5-inch. I should say 6-inch. And then a 1/2-inch drive ratchet that's flex. And put that on, and that's how I loosened both the drain plugs and the fill plugs. Of course, you don't, for the drain plugs, you don't need the extension, of course. Now, to install it, you can certainly use a 3/8. Obviously, I recommend a 3/8 drive ratchet. It has less torque. Of course, you know, I recommend torquing it anyways. I torque it under the spec there because I found that between 120 and 140 inch-pounds is enough. See, this has a little bit of a rounded off like edges there. I try to find something that is as square as possible for 3/8 drive extension. This just happens to be a gray 3-1, and this is very square, as you can see. Nothing is rounded off there from the factory. So in order to install the fill plug for the transfer case, this is 3-inch, and then another 3-inch extension. So two 3-inch extensions, and then your ratchet, and then you can grab your torque wrench, and then just use the 3/8 to put it on to install it. Because there's, you know, if you use the 1/2-inch drive, you might over tighten it. So I would just use the 3/8 drive, and then your torque wrench there to torque it. So that's all I wanted to show. I mean, you could use a 3/8 drive down to or 1/2-inch drive down to a 3/8 drive reducer, but I tell you, this is what I used, and this is what worked for me. So I don't know. Please comment if something else has worked for you, but this setup has really worked for me quite well. Before I put my tool away, I just want to read you the OEM Suzuki. If you're using OEM Suzuki filters, I'll get you the filter number later on there. But the Suzuki cap-style filter wrench will probably be hard to get. The number is, I don't think you can read it here, but I'll read it out, is 09915-40611. So that's the Suzuki original. If you're using Suzuki original filters, this is the cap-style filter wrench for it, and that's the number right there. Okay, thanks. Okay, next on the bucket list is the coolant there, and I'll take you down where the drain plug is for the radiator. Now I'm actually going to be removing the block heater in order to get as much coolant out as possible. In the Suzuki service manual, it says run the engine up to operating temperature with the rad cap off, and then drain the coolant, as obviously the thermostat is down there, opens up, and then keep doing that and filling it up, running it up with the cap off to operating temperature until the fans come on and the thermostat opens, then drain it again. And I'm going to do it an alternative way here, which is a little bit more difficult. But if you can see right there where my finger's pointing, that's where the block heater is. So that's why I took the cover off here. There's a bolt up top here, a bolt up top there, and then one way down there, which is easier to get from underneath the vehicle. I'll show you when I put that back. But that's the block heater right there, and it is, so reference obviously exhaust manifold right there. Those two bolts right there, you see, those are two 5mm hexes, and you have to be really, really careful not to strip the heads out, or else you're going to have a bad day. So I'm actually using a well, it doesn't matter the brand, but this is a Husky, but it's the most important is it's a 5mm hex, and I'm just using it's 3/8 drive, and I'm just using a gear wrench 1/4 inch drive flex handle 84 tooth just to get in there and remove the bolts there. So let's go down and show the rad radiator drain plug. And the radiator drain plug, I took this cover off, and it is right there. And you can reach this from in behind here, in behind this cross member right there. You can reach, I don't know if you can see my finger right there. So I'm just going to loosen that, let the rad drain take out the block heater. Hopefully that'll get most of the coolant out, and then put in some pre-mixed coolant there. Okay, so here's a pic of the block heater out right there. It just, well, yeah, it's kind of like a hex. You think you have to thread it out, but no, there's just an O-ring right there. You might have to just turn it and then just pull it out. But I'll get a part number for that O-ring as well there too. Now when you're installing it back, the bottom, which I'm assuming is ground, goes in like this. Okay, so it goes into the block like this. Okay, like that. So with that facing down. Now I'm not too sure how this bracket here goes on like this, or does it go like this? So I'll come back in the next shot with that. I mean, I think it's like this because I remember really paying attention to this, but I'll come back in the next shot. Okay, figured out how the bracket goes back on. So it doesn't go like this, it goes on like this. So these little, whatever, weld tabs or whatnot, the little protrusions go towards the block. And it's pretty self-explanatory. I can't get you a shot from it because it's too tight. But it goes on like that, and then it sits flush. Those two little tabs there, they sit flush with the block. So that's the way it goes. If you put it in the other way, you'll see it. It's not going to work. So it goes in like this. These two, well, they look like welded on nuts or circles, whatever. But I'll just call them tabs or indentations or protrusions, whatnot. Goes in towards the block. Okay, so block heater's back in. Just for reference, this is the O2 sensor. I think it's number 1 there. There's a connector there. You just unconnect that. Press that in right there. And then I think you push down on that tab or pull it up. Can't remember there. And then just put that out of the way. And then this little clip way down there. Well, maybe you can see it right there. Let me grab the light here. Right there, that white tab right there. For the block heater, just unclip that, and then that'll give you room to get in and fart around with the block heater there. Yeah, I just added coolant, about 5.5 liters, including the overflow here. Probably a good idea if you have the rad cap off. Put a plastic bag on it so you don't drop anything in there. And for coolant, you can use the Honda, since Suzuki uses the long life Suzuki Super Long Life Coolant LLC. Probably not available at the dealer, or maybe it is. But you can. Well, I use the Honda coolant there. Well, this one's 50/50. Or you can just use, went to my parts store, I actually bought OEM concentrated, and then I mixed it 60/40 with deionized water, 60 coolant, 40 deionized water. Good for Subaru, Acura, Honda. So I think this is the same. So about 5.5 liters went in. So I think that's it for the coolant replacement. Okay, now to get ready for the clutch flush there. Clutch fluid flush. This is the master right there. The clutch master is built into it. So I want to get to the bleeder valve there, and I think it's under this airbox. I can't see any access to it, so I think the airbox has to get removed. So got to remove this bolt right there. That's a 10 millimeter, and then down there, you can just barely see it. That's a 12 millimeter, and you'll probably need a long extension like so. You can just reach down in there. Sorry, no light there. There's the light. I should turn on the light on the phone here. Right there, where my socket's on there. So that one's a 12. Okay, so the airbox is out. It just pulls out. You remove those two bolts that I showed you. And then, of course, while disconnect, I actually removed the clamp there. I just moved the mass airflow sensor out of the way, unplugged that, and I took out the air intake thing here. That's pretty straightforward. There were just two bolts there, and you pull it out, and then I removed the oxygen sensor, unplugged it, and I unplugged probably a reverse light sensor or a switch there, right there, and I just tucked the wires away. They're right here. You can see them right here. I just tucked them out of the way, and this is your prize right there. This is where your right there. Your clutch, there you go, the clutch fluid fitting there is. The bigger fitting is plastic, that's a 17 millimeter, and the clutch where the bleeder valve is the bleeder head there, that is an 11 millimeter. So I recommend, I'm going to go too slowly here, or don't go too quickly here. So 11 millimeter and 17 millimeter, I can actually show that. You got to be really careful. Looks like this 11 millimeter bottoms out, so you know, I should have had my flash on. So let me just show you the 17 on there. You can really hold it with your hands too. Sorry, I'm just farting around here. So that's the 11 or the 17 right there. Okay. You know what? I'm just fumbling here. So anyways, that's the 17 right there. Let's get the stupid light here. That's the 17 right there. Hold that. That seems like it's plastic. And then you just slip this over. And of course, counterclockwise. Okay. Sorry. So you can see there. Counterclockwise. Maybe go like that. It is 11 millimeter, isn't it? Yeah, it is 11. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 11. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an 11. Okay, if I'm wrong, oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's the open end wrench, the open end portion there, right there. Oh, oops. I don't know what I did with the zoom there. Sorry about that. And then I'll show a pic when I'm starting the bleeding procedure there. Okay, so brake fluid flush done and clutch fluid flush is done. I didn't show, like I mentioned that I'll show when I'm bleeding the system there. I didn't show that. I'm trying to get this done here. However, I'm using a pressure bleeder here. So basically it's just hooking it up, loosening the fitting, and then just bleeding the system there. And there's lots of videos there on how to bleed the system there, or flush the system, bleed the system, flush the system. In the Suzuki service manual, it says do the right rear, so passenger rear first, then the driver's side front, so left front, then the left rear, and then the right front. So that's the order there. So I didn't bother showing that. And I wanted to show where the clutch, this is where the, okay, I don't know why that keeps, oh, I see, that's why, okay, sorry about that, okay. That's where the clutch, I put the cover back on the fitting head there, right there. That's the clutch bleeder screw right there. You basically just screw that out, and well, I use the pressure bleeder there, or actually the vacuum. It's a vacuum bleeder, I should say, not a pressure bleeder. A vacuum bleeder there, and just pull the vacuum on it. You can get somebody to press the clutch pedal down, and once it goes to the floor, tighten it, and then repeat it. I just want to show the master here where the minimum mark is. The maximum mark is right. Sorry for the glare there. The maximum mark is right there. Now the minimum mark when you're flushing is, you can't really see it. Maybe if I put my phone in there. Where that line is, okay, I'm sorry, I can't put my finger in there. Well, maybe I can. Let's see if I can do this. The minimum mark is right there, okay? So you don't want to go below that when you're flushing the brakes, okay? So that's for the brakes, okay? You want to go above that. Basically, you'll see it on the top here. You'll see the fluid going down here, and then it goes down there, and then you'll see it getting close. Once it gets close to the min mark, of course, fill it up. Now, for the clutch, when you're bleeding the clutch, this is the clutch reservoir right there. Okay, so that's the hose right there. Let me put my camera in here so you can. Oh, sorry, I don't want to get anybody nauseous here. Right there. So when you're doing the clutch fluid, this fluid is really clear. Then you'll see the level go down. You definitely don't want to go below this line here. So go well above it, maybe half a distance between the top of the plastic there, or the top of the hose, and this line here. I wouldn't go below that, okay? And then it'll be, you should be good to go. Now, I just want to show where the starter bolts are on this car right here. So, for reference, clutch bleeder valve, you're coming back here. You see that one bolt right there? Starter is, I don't know if you can see that, but it's right. I can't hold this with my phone and show the starter at the same time here. But basically, it's I don't know if you see that writing there. I have to get in, maybe back here. Maybe you can see the starter. Okay, there's the solenoid right there. Sorry, I can't get my finger in there. You can see the, I think the wire there. You can see the solenoid right there, where you see those two Phillips screws there. Okay, now you see that one bolt thread there? That's accessed from the underneath of the car right there. Okay, so that's one of the bolts, and the other bolt is right there. So not that one, but that one right there, where my finger is pointing, and I can't see right there. That bolt right there. Okay, those are the so that one there. And then you access that from the other side there. So those are the two starter bolts there. Just in case if somebody is wondering if you're removing the starter there, how to remove the starter. Now I'm going to put all this plumbing back here. I disconnected, like I say, that's the O2 sensor right there. And this sensor right here that I showed, right there where my finger's pointing, right there. And that's where this gets plugged in. Okay, so that's it for that. Next will be the power steering fluid flush. Okay, I just wanted to show this air intake because I didn't show how I remove this. This just, I guess the air intake, there we go. Just goes like this in there, so just for reference, rad, overflow, rad cap, radiator, and this just slides in here, and then you just slide it in like so, and then there's two bolts here, and this is what they look like, the two bolts right there that you just put in there and there, and then the airbox goes in. Okay, I just want to show when you're putting in the airbox assembly here. Okay, it's going to go in like that. There's the mass airflow sensor. That's the front. Sorry, my hand's covering it. those are the two little tabs right there and there, tabs I should say, they're rubber grommets that it goes into. I just put a little bit of silicone paste on there, just a little bit of silicone grease, just to facilitate easier removal in the future there. And then this just snaps back in. And don't forget to connect the mass airflow sensor, the oxygen sensor, which I already did, and of course that, I don't know what that is. I think that's a reverse light switch or something there. And of course the cover on the clutch bleeder fitting there. Just wanted to give a tip on this airbox here. So you put this, I guess you could move this. What I did is I put this in first, then just bend this out of the way, and this airbox just literally just drops down. Be careful you don't bust this, the mass airflow sensor. And you'll need an inspection mirror just to see it when the tabs line up. Then you just push down on it. Don't forget the hose clamp there, and then the mass airflow sensor gets plugged in there. And then this gets plugged underneath there, and then the two bolts, install the two bolts to hold that down. And then there's one bolt there, and then one right there. I think the one right there, you can just reach in with your hand right here and just start it right there. Okay, start it and then tighten it. I'm not going to show that because I showed you the long extension that I use there. Okay, so I just want to show the exhaust manifold heat shield here. There's two bolts up top and one right there. So this just slides in like this. Okay, let's just, I'm doing this one-handed here. Just like so. Line that up. Don't forget there's a ground wire here. Sorry. Okay, so there's a ground wire there, or I guess that's going to chassis ground right there. And then the two bolts there. One there, one there. And this one down there, the one that's down there, you can either use a, right there, you can either probably get access from it underneath here, okay? If you go underneath here, you can get access. Okay, I'm not gonna, well, maybe I'll show that right here. Where is it here? Well, I know you can get access from it down here. Okay, maybe you, oh yeah, I think right there. If you grab, let's go underneath the rad here. Okay, yeah, right here. So here's a reference there, rad drain plug right there. Right there, you can, where my finger is, right there, you can get access from it right there. It's probably easier if you have this cover off, of course. You need this cover off in order to get at the rad drain plug. Unless you can fit from it behind here. I don't think you can. So anyways, you got to take that off. But anyways, that's, you can reach up, sorry, let me just get up here. You can reach in with a 10 millimeter ratchet, combination wrench with a ratcheting end there, but it's probably easier from underneath there. I just wanted to show that. Okay, just wanted to show these exhaust manifold heat shield bolts here. So just thread them in loose, and that bottom one, my hands were small enough to squeeze in there, but probably if you come here on the right hand side and you put your hand down here, and then that's where the okay, yeah, you can't see it, but maybe just the end right there. Maybe if I zoom this in, maybe that'll work. Where, right there, the bolt right there where my finger is, you can just thread it in there and just use a wrench from up top here. Probably be easier. So just loosen them. Of course, I applied some anti-seize compound to them. And you don't need to go full gorilla on these, just I would probably maybe torque them down to about maybe 8 foot-pounds, 10 at the most. Okay, yeah, I'm going OCD on these bolts here. Okay, so yeah, the two upper ones there, I just have that flex head ratcheting type combination wrench on the bottom there. Let me just see if I can zoom that in for you there. So there you go, right there. Yeah, no way you can torque that. Just firm it up. No need to go full grill on it. So I just wanted to show that because that's a tricky one. I read on some forums some people removing this to ease oil filter removal, but not really, because their oil filter is right. It's actually on the other side, separate from the from this heat shield. It's right there, the oil filter there. So yeah, okay. So just wanted to show that. Okay, so I'm gonna put the splash shield back on here. Probably a good idea to check for leaks first before you put this back, but I'm going to put the carriage in front of the horse here. So just reference, that's the front of the vehicle. This is the driver's side or left side, and here's the panel here. I'll show a pic after I put back all the screws there and fasteners. So it basically just goes underneath like so. I just basically use the reference on the other side. This goes underneath, right there. That lip goes underneath. I'll show a picture when I'm done. Actually, this whole thing right here goes underneath the bumper skin cover there. And this snaps in right here. If you take a look at that right there, and then that right there, see, there's a tab right there, and one up top there. Sorry from the glare there. There's one there, and then one there, and that just basically fits into this tab here. I can't really explain it here. One fits up top there, and the other one fits there. I'll show you a pic once it's up here. I can't do it one-handed here, so yeah, I'll come back in the next shot here. Okay, so here's the cover back here. I just wanted to show you a couple things. So it just this slides in. There's a little tab here. I don't know if you can make that out right there, but this just slides in like that, and then you just reach around here and just snap this in over here and over there. Make sure that's snapped in. And the fasteners are, there's one screw, so that's the middle of the bumper right there. One screw right there. Then a 10 mil head bolt right there. Two other screws right there. Another 10 mil bolt. Another 10 mil bolt. Sorry if I'm going too fast. And then one way down here. And then there's a tab. One of those plastic tab things right here on the side. Right over there where my finger is. So that's how you take that off. And then fasten it with the fasteners there. And I just wanted to show that, you know, if you can get to the rad drain right there. Just reach on behind here with your hand. You can actually get to this, so you don't need to probably remove that cover for that. I mean, you can get to the transmission plug there as well from the wheel if you remove the wheels. Yeah, I put my wheels back already. You know, you can, I don't know if you can see that hex right there. That's the transmission drain, but you know what? Then you're going to get gear oil on the cover there, so it's probably, I would remove that cover. So while we're down here, I just wanted to show where the lift point is on this. I just have it supported there because I'm on jack stands here. Where the lift point is according to the service manual here. So if you see this crossbar right here, right, that's where the cover is, front of the bumper, underneath here. It's actually right here, not there, not that, just right here. I just put a hockey puck there and my floor jack there. So this is a floor jack raising point as in the service manual there. And then for the jack stands placements, it's actually not, so this is the front of the car. It's actually not here. This is only for the jack. If you're changing a spare tire, it's actually not here. This is not a authorized front lifting point, even if you're on a post hoist or on a regular using jack stands. It's actually right here. If you read in the manual there, they actually mark it. I think it's right here. right here, not there, right here. You can see where my jack stand made a mark there. What I actually did is I actually put it on the frame right here. That's just a protector right there. So that's where I put it, mine there. So should probably follow the factory one there. But I don't really like that, so I just put mine over there. And in the rear is easy. That's where the jack point is for the rear right there. That's easy. And the rear lift point is actually right here. Okay, so I have a trailer hitch on mine, but if you're looking at lifting the rear of the vehicle, so that's the rear muffler there, it's actually that tow hook right there where my finger is pointing. If just pretend that hitch isn't there, that's actually a factory service manual lift point right there, so you can lift the entire back of the vehicle there. One last thing I did want to show here is how do I level the vehicle? I mean, there's nothing underneath here that I can use, you know, that's level. There's a little, you know, a bevel there. So what I used is, let me just grab my torpedo level here, is I used the rocker panels. So right here, oh, sorry, I think I got hung up on here. Just hang on a second. You know, if you had a hoist, way better. That's next on the list, a car ramp there. Okay, so front tire, that's the rocker panel there. I just use this, so here's a torpedo level. Okay, so just the flat tire when you replace it, jacking point there. I go right behind it, between these two. That's kind of like a level surface right there in between these two. And then you can read it. It's a little bit, it's not quite centered there. It should be a little bit down. The front should be a little bit down, but I had it pretty well much perfectly leveled when I had my car ramps on there. As you can see, I took the car ramps, I just jacked the car up and took the car ramps out. So I check it there, then move it down, check it there. Let me see if I can zoom out, and then check it there. So basically in between these clip panels here, I just check it and go all the way to the back here. Well, almost the back, right there. So that's how I made sure that the vehicle was level. And this worked quite well for me. I mean, I don't know where else I can use here. You know, that's not straight right there. So that's what I use to level the vehicle. Obviously, when you're filling the transfer, the manual transmission, the rear diff, it's really important that it's level. Okay? Okay, so next is going to be, in the final part here of this maintenance series, is going to be flushing the power steering fluid. Big shout out to Volvo Sweden. Has excellent Suzuki SX4 repairs, and it also shows a really good way to flush the power steering. So I'm basically going to just follow his method. So this is the power steering. Okay, for reference, the engine. This is on the passenger side, and so I'm going to just disconnect it from here. That's the return line, power steering return line there. I just unhooked this plastic clip here. And just to give a little bit more room, I'm just going to remove that bolt right there. So I'll have just a little bit more room. I'm going to slide this out. This just push this tab back a little bit there. You can slide this out. I'll remove this 3/8. I'll show this in a minute here. Put the hose on there, and I'm just going to clamp this one, clamp that one off. Okay, so here's my setup here. 3/8 inner diameter clear hose goes into a container there, an empty container. I just have a test tube plugging the return line, a clean funnel, and then some Dextron 3 transmission fluid. I'm just going to fill it up, turn the steering wheel, and hopefully that'll push the old fluid out. Volvo, like I said, Volvo Sweden has a very good video on this, so just following that. Okay, so here's a pic of everything back there. Just a note there, you can turn the steering wheel without running the engine lock to lock when you have the hose hooked up there, the clear hose. And what I did is I got my assistant there to start the car. I filled it up right up to the rim there, started the car. It only ran for about 3 seconds, and I didn't let it drop below here, so I'm not sucking in too much air into the system there. Did that about 5 times, 6 times, and then as you can see, I don't know if the camera can tell you, you can see from the camera there, but it's nice clear fluid there. So yeah, I used a worm clamp there because those clamps are just stupid to put back on. I even used the proper tool and I didn't have luck. So now it's just a return line, not a pressure line. This concludes the maintenance video series. I will post the part numbers in the comments section. I'm sorry for not showing the actual repairs itself. Being by myself with only my camera phone really gave me no other option. However, I hope I was able to help some Suzuki SX4 owners. If there are any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I will answer back. Thank you for watching.